Have you ever considered how video games can affect our lives? Games have evolved over time and are now being researched to have positive effects. In every household, one way or another, video games have made a huge impact, and they're not slowing down. Numerous features of playing video games have been the topic of study by researchers from around the globe. This data was acquired from gamers of many gaming genres, both young and old, using PCs as well as both classic and contemporary consoles. But for some experts, the real issue is whether playing video games is good for you or bad for you. According to the article 8 Myths About Video Games Debunked, written by MIT professor Henry Jenkins, there are claims that video games are not having a valuable method of engagement, or playing video games is socially isolating. Federal Court of Appeals Judge Richard Posner noted, humanity has always been interested in violence, and it continues to be so. It is a recurring, even obsessional theme in high and low cultures. He continues to say to shield children up to the age of 18 from exposure to violence, descriptions, and images would not only be impractical, but deforming. It would leave them unequipped to cope with the world as we know it. Many early games were a little more than shooting galleries, or players were encouraged to blast everything that moved. Modern video games frequently serve as social trial runs. They give players a chance to explore a vast and unending universe, make their own decisions, and see the results of those decisions. The Sims designer Will Wright argues that games are perhaps the only form that allows us to experience guilt over the actions of fictional characters. If a character in a movie violates certain ethical rules, some people can always back off and criticize it. But while playing a game, what happens to the character, under the right circumstances, we can be urged to assess our own principles by seeing how we behave within a simulated space. But games aren't just for entertainment, are they? Questions concerning which games can have positive impact on players have arisen over the years of gaming. Can you think of a highly popular game that falls under this category? If you had Fortnite on your mind, you would be correct. And games like it have proven brain-related benefits. First and third-person shooters improve spatial reasoning, decision-making, and contrary to popular belief, attention. In an article published by Men's Health writer Yo Zushi, said that even the heart-racing pressure that you feel as your buddy hunts you down in Fortnite Battle Royale turns out to be good for you. Positive stress in the context of gameplay helps to motivate you while increasing your ability to focus in real life. Another game that probably comes to a lot of educators' minds is Minecraft. Additionally, a lot of people utilize Minecraft as a teaching resource. A recent educational version of the basically 3D Legos allows elementary school instructors to modify the game's rules to teach math, science, and pretty much any subject other than physical education. Prior to the release of the school version, however, Minecraft already made a name for itself in the educational world. 7,000 classrooms have already included Minecraft in their curricula, according to the BBC. When it comes to demonstrating evidence and study on how video games help us improve, Minecraft and Fortnite are among the top titles used as examples. That is, of course, according to Tom James Carter and the article of What Gaming Does to Your Brain and How You Might Benefit. Much video gameplay is social. Almost 60% of frequent gamers play with friends, 33% play with siblings, and 25% play with a spouse or parent. Even game designed for single players are often played solely. Sociologist Maggie Wright has recorded many hours observing online communities interact with and react to violent video games, concluding that metagaming, which is conversation about the game, content provides a context for thinking about rule and rule breaking. In this sense, there are two games going on at once. One is the on-screen conflict and fighting, and the other is the players' apparent friendship and cooperation. The two players may be fighting to death on screen and growing closer as friends off screen. Technology developed over time in combination with game development. It is believed that American physicist William Higginbotham invented the first video game in October 1958 called Tennis for Two. But the invention of detachable game cartridges, that contain games, marked a significant advancement in the history of video game. Has anything come to mind? How about the Nintendo 64? Yeah, but this wasn't available until June 23rd, 1996. As the development kept progressing, so did manufacturing and sales. This served as the foundation for everything we have witnessed throughout the years: Atari, PS5, Xbox One, and now virtual reality. Nintendo, a Japanese manufacturer of cards and novelty items that started making electronic games in the 70s, oversaw creating arcade games like Donkey Kong in the early 80s. It attempted to succeed where Atari had failed with its first home console, which was created in 1984 for sale in Japan. Nintendo systems include more advanced, improved microchips that were brought in large quantities to provide high quality image at a price and consumers could afford. Sega Master System was introduced in 1986 by the Sega Corporation, which had previously worked on developing arcade video games. Even though the system had more graphic options than the NES, Sega didn't begin to compare to Nintendo's market share until the Sega Genesis was introduced in the early 1990s. The 90s increase in internet usage among the general population, which led to significant advancement in game technology. The ability to play multiplayer games online was one of Doom's key features. Big game. Players might also compete against each other online in strategy games like Command & Conquer, my personal favorite, and Total Annihilation. These games played on an online platform. As platform wars continued, so did the evolution of video games and the extensive research behind every aspect of it. So whether you play games alone or with your family and friends, which is portrayed and researched to bring people together, take into the account the fact that some games are actually assisting us rather than harming us. In fact, they can help us learn some very important lessons in life. Thank you.